Sextuplet births, occasions where 6 babies are born, are extremely rare. In fact, the chances of a sextuplet birth is 1 in 4.7 billion. Throughout history, there have been only 18 recorded cases of sextuplet births before Delaney's pregnancy. This was the first time in Sri Lanka that a sextuplet birth was going to happen. On the 26th of April 2021, Delaney and Udayanga realized that they were going to be parents. But what they had not been expecting was that they were going to have sextuplets.
අපි ඇත්තටම බබාලා බලාපොරොත්තුෙන් හිටියා 2021 ඒප්‍රිල් අපිට බබෙක් ලැබෙන්න ඉන්නවා කියලා දැනගන්න ලැබුණා. ඉතින් ඒ අනුව අපි ෆස්ට් ස්කෑන් එකට ගියා. ස්කෑන් එකේදී ඇත්තටම අපි බලාපොරොත්තුෙන් හිටියේ අපිට එක දරුවෙක් ලැබෙන්න ඉන්නවා කියලා කියයි කියන එක. නමුත් ડોක්ටර් ඉස්සල්ලාම කිව්වා බබෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ මොහොතේම තව ටිකකින් කිව්වා නෑ ඔයාලට ට්වින්ස්ලා ඉන්නේ කියලා. තව ටික වෙලාවකින් අපිට කිව්වා නෑ බබාලා 3 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා කියලා. ඉතින් ඒ වෙලාව නම් ඇත්තටම මම පුටුවෙන් නැගිට්ටා. ඒත් එක්කම ડોක්ටර් මට කිව්වාම 4 වෙනි බබත් කියලා මට ඒ වෙලාවේ නම් හිතා ගන්න බෑ ඇත්තට මේක. ඊට පස්සේ ડોක්ටර් අපිට කිව්වා ඉතින් මේක ස්පෙෂල් දෙයක්. අපි තව සතියකින් ආයි ස්කෑන් එකක් කරලා බලමු කියලා. ඉතින් අපි ගෙදර එනකොට ගොඩක් දේවල් ඉතින් සැලසුම් කරා. අපි ළඟ දැන් බබාලා 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා වගේ තමයි අපි සැලසුම් කරේ හැමදාම. අපි සති දෙකක් ඇත්තටම ඇඟිලි ගැන තමයි හිටියේ. ඇත්තටම ඔයාලට තව බබෙක් ඉන්නවා කිව්වම ඉතින් බබාලා 5 දෙනෙක් කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම ලෝකෙටම විශේෂ දෙයක්. ඊට පස්සේ 6 වෙනි බබත් කියද්දී මටයි මගේ වයිෆ්ටයි මම හිතන්නේ මේ ජීවිතේ ලැබුණ වටිනාම සම්පත තමයි ඒක. ડોක්ටර් අපිව ප්‍රොෆෙසර් ටිරාන්ඩයස් ළඟට අපිව යොමු කළා. මොකද ප්‍රොෆෙසර් ටිරාන්ඩයස් තමයි මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් ලංකාවේ ඉන්න ස්පෙෂලිස්ට්. අතන මෙයා තමයි මෙතෙක් අපි අත්විඳපු විදියට අපිව ගයිඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රොෆෙසර්ට විතරයි. ඒ විදියට තමයි අපි ඒ මොමන්ට් එක අපි ඇත්තටම එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් කළේ.
බබාලා 6 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා කියලා දැනගත්ත දවසේ ඉඳන් අපි මම ඇත්තටම ඇවිදින විදිය පවා වෙනස් කරා. ලොකු බයක් තිබුණා. ඒ වුණාට ડોක්ටර්ත් එක්ක කතා කරන්න ගියාම ડોක්ටර්ගෙන් අහන්න හම්බෙන වචන ටිකෙන් තමයි දිරිමත් වුනේ අතට.
Dilini came to me actually as a referral. That patient was referred to me by one of my colleagues after realizing that was a sextuplet pregnancy. That was somewhere 10 weeks of gestation or the pregnancy. When she was here with us, we initially thought of going into her details because when there's a pregnancy with 6 babies, there are complications both to mother as well as to the babies. Therefore, from the beginning, I had to plan her pregnancy care and delivery. For that, I have gone through her history and managed to list down all possible risk factors that she's had, and at the same time, I did a scan at the beginning and I have confirmed that was a sextuplet pregnancy. Then I got her down again between 11 and 14 weeks for routine NT scan. That particular scan enabled me to orientate babies inside the womb. Problem that we are facing, especially when there are more than 2 babies, we just need to orientate them or label them at the beginning of the pregnancy in order to identify them in subsequent examination correctly. Otherwise, we don't know which twin or which baby we are going to measure or look in subsequent examination. Then what we did was we mapped them inside the womb, how the babies were lying inside the womb, and then subsequently we knew that how the babies are going to be inside the womb. Thereafter, the initial part of the pregnancy was so smooth, she didn't get any complications, and by the time she was at about 19 weeks, we realized that supporting structure of the womb or the neck of the womb is getting a little bit shorter. It could lead into early labor in Dilini. Therefore, we thought of putting a very high end stitch to her cervix that we managed to put at around 18 weeks, and it helped us to prolong the pregnancy up to 31 weeks. And then we did anomaly scan little bit earlier than usual. Normally anomaly scan we do between 20 weeks and 24 weeks, but because of 6 babies, especially when there are a lot of crowding inside the womb, we may not be able to see everything possible. Therefore, we thought of having anomaly scan somewhere around 18 weeks. At that point, we determined the genders of the babies, 3 boys and 3 girls, and fortunately, all babies were very healthy structurally. We couldn't find any structural abnormalities in the babies. And then we plan her subsequent care after anomaly scan, because ideally, when there are 2 babies, total care should be based on ultrasound findings, because we can't assess baby's growth by just measuring the tummy with a tape. That's what we normally do when there's one baby. But In scan, we plotted the baby's growth from 2 weeks interval, and at about 24-25 weeks, we realized that one baby is going to have a growth issue. The other babies are generally all right. Then we stick to their growth protocol weekly basis. And at around 29 weeks, we realized that the Dilini is going to develop blood pressure issues. And then at that point, we were a little bit conscious because we don't know at what moment that we might need delivery. And at that point, I contacted Ninewells Hospital first for their delivery because we thought the Ninewells is the best place them to deliver with all the facilities. And then they wholeheartedly agreed to take care of Dilini, and thereafter actually I didn't want to do anything about her care because the hospital took over the complete responsibility and took care of her till delivery, even after delivery.
Of course, Ninewells was up for the challenge. With state-of-the-art medical facilities, experienced and skilled staff, they ensured that Dilini received the best care possible right from the start.
අපිට ඊළඟට තිබුණ චැලෙන්ජ් එක තමයි අපි කොහොමද ඩිලිවරි එකට ප්‍රිපෙයාර් වෙන්නේ කියන එක. ප්‍රොෆෙසර් අපිට ඇඩ්වයිස් කළේ මේ ඩිලිවරි එක ස්පෙෂල්. ඉතින් මේකට good team work එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන. හොඳ environment එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන. මගේ wife ගේ mentally situation එකත් හොඳට තියෙන්න ඕන. ප්‍රොෆෙසර් අපිව suggest කරා Ninewells Hospital එක මේකට ගොඩක් සුදුසුයි කියලා. අපිට තිබුණ experience එක අපිත් ඒක ගොඩක් සතුටින් අපි බාරගත්තා. ඩොක්ටර් නලින් ගාමැතිගේ කෝඩිනේට් කරා අපි කොහොමද හොස්පිටල් එකේ මැනේජ්මන්ට් එකත් එක්ක මේ ගැන කතා කරන්න කියලා මීටින්ග්ස් කීපයක් arrange කරා. හැමෝම එකතු වෙලා හොස්පිටල් එකේ මැනේජ්මන්ට් එකෙන් ඉස්සෙල්ලාම කළේ මාව මොටිවේට් කරන එක. මොකද ඔයා මේ ඩිලිවරි එක ගැන විතරක් ફોකස් කරන්න, මේ කොස්ට් එක ගැනවත් අනිත් හැම දෙයක් ගැනම අපි ඒක හැමදේම බලා ගන්නම් කියලා. ඉතින් ඒක මට ඒ වෙලාවේ ලොකු සහනයක් වුණා. ඇත්තට මේක හොස්පිටල් එකෙන් ඇඩ්වයිස් කරේ ඩිලිවරි එකට දවස් 10කට කලින්වත් හොස්පිටලයිස් වෙන්න ඕන. මොකද ප්‍රොෆෙසර් ටිරාන්ඩයස් ඇතුළු හැමෝම අපි මගේ වයිෆ් මොනිටර් කරන්න ඕනි කියලා කිව්වා අන්තිම දවස් 10. මොකද එයාගේ ප්‍රෙෂර් ලෙවල් එක, ෂුගර් ලෙවල් එක හැම දෙයක්ම ඩිලිවරි එක වෙනකම් හරියට මැනේජ් වෙන්න ඕනි කියලා තමයි අපිට ඇඩ්වයිස් කරේ. ඉතින් ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල්ස්ලා දුන්න ඇඩ්වයිසස් හරියටම පිළිඅරගෙන අපි ඒ හරි වෙලාවට හොස්පිටලයිස් වුණා. ඩිලිවරි එක දවසටම එනකම් මම හිතන්නේ අපිට ඒ කාර්ය මණ්ඩලයෙන් හොස්පිටල් එකේ කාර්ය මණ්ඩලයෙන් සහ ඩොක්ටර්ස්ලා අපිට අපි මගේ වයිෆ් මොනිටර් කරපු හැටි ඒ විතරක් නෙමෙයි ඇත්තටම එයා ෆිසිකලි විතරක් නෙමෙයි මෙන්ටලි උනත් මැනේජ් කරා. ඉතින් ඒක මට වචන වලින් කියන්න බෑ. ඒ තරම්ම ගොඩක් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා ඒ හැමෝටම.
Throughout this journey, post-neonatal care is the biggest challenge for us. Allocating staff for several weeks with our day-to-day operation, it's a huge challenge.
They were considering doing the delivery at the government sector simply because the high cost of managing 6 newborns in a private sector NICU. What we thought initially was Ninewells as the leading private hospital dedicated to maternity services, we felt that we should be undertaking this challenge. So we decided that whatever the costs that are involved in this, we will try to manage them somehow, and we will offer them the chance of doing the delivery at Ninewells Hospital. The initial challenges we faced, like looking after these babies, will need special equipment like incubators, ventilators, so many other things, and the materials, the drugs and everything for 6 babies, because it was planned that we will deliver the babies at 31 weeks. And at the same time, regarding the mother, we were worried about after the delivery whether we will be facing a massive bleeding from her womb, because it was extended to the extent where 6 babies were there. So all our staff members, they never said that we can't do this. When this presented to us also, what the in charge sisters of these units, what they said was, if we are given the necessary equipment, we will do it. That was a huge strength to us. That they were very positive about this, because it has not been done in Sri Lanka before. And the most important thing was the drill. 2 neonatologists who were involved, Dr. Gamathige and Dr. Buddhima Jayasinghe,
They were very supportive. Because of that drill, we knew where we could go wrong, and we were prepared for that. And at the same time, we were keeping a conversation with the family, with Professor Tiran, and with the two anesthetists who were involved in this surgery, and the two neonatologists. We were having a constant conversation about how we are going to do this. We wanted to get the mother admitted beforehand to optimize her condition for the surgery. It was a very, very successful undertaking of a historical challenge that was faced by Ninewells. With our team, with our expertise, we could successfully complete it.
And on the 21st of October 2021, exactly at midnight, it was time. Everything led up to this moment.
Now, general recommendation for delivering of more than 2 babies, we need to offer cesarean. Now, for example, if there's 1 baby, normally we can go up to 40 weeks. When there are 2 babies, we can go up to 37-38 weeks. But when it comes to 3 babies, the triplets, normal current evidence is to deliver them at 35 weeks by cesarean. But beyond 3 babies, there's no much evidence in the scientific literature because there are less number of cases worldwide. When she was passing 29 weeks, her blood pressure was gradually increased, and then we got down Dr. Priyanka Rajawardena, senior physician, to get expert opinion on her blood pressure control, and we realized 1 baby is having abnormal blood flow, other babies are generally alright. We thought it's better way to push as much as possible, keeping the maternal mother's health as well as baby's health good in condition. Later on, we realized somewhere nearing 31 weeks, her blood pressure is so bad and she was leaking protein in her urine, and we had to start third antihypertensive medication to control her blood pressure. We got down our team because now everything is done by the hospital, but we need to arrange our pediatric team, neonatal team, everybody together to take care of the babies. The mother is now almost going to deliver. First hour of life is the most critical, especially preterm babies. Then altogether about 30-35 people were there in the theatre. Delivery process is very simple. We did it under spinal anesthesia. To deliver all 6 babies, I took only 2 minutes because I thought delivering may compromise the last one to deliver's health. Therefore, we managed to deliver them within 2 minutes, and as a precautionary device to prevent excessive bleeding after delivery, we took all the possible measurements, and then for observation after surgery, we put her to the high dependence unit. It was a real challenge for me.
The doctors were able to deliver all 6 babies in good health within the span of 2 minutes, a record previously unheard of in the medical sector. 3 boys and 3 girls brought great joy not only to the parents but also to the 50+ medical staff who loved the infants like their own. After the birth, the babies were put into the neonatal intensive care unit, where a set of dedicated professionals took up the role of guardian angels around the clock.
දැනට ඔවුන්ගේ vital parameter සාමාන්‍ය මට්ටමට සිද්ධ වෙනවා. ඉතා සුපිරික්ෂාකාරීව මෙම ලදරුවන් මොනිටර් කරනවා.
බබාලා 6 දෙනාම අපි හොඳට ලෑස්ති වෙලා තිබුණේ හින්දා හොඳට ස්ටැබිලයිස් කරගෙන තියට එකේදී ලදරු දැඩි සත්කාරයකකට අරගෙන එන්න හැකියාව හම්බුණා.
We wanted all 6 babies to have equal facilities in case of an emergency, so that we don't have to worry about their condition. So we had 6 medical officers dedicated to each baby. So we had 1 medical officer, 2 nurses for each baby. Because of our mock drill, everything went according to the plan, and we were able to deliver the babies on time and transport them from the theatre to our NICU premises. Throughout the whole process, we were guided by both our neonatologists. Following delivery, we didn't have major issues, but if we wanted to ventilate a baby, we had the ventilator facilities and the CPAP facilities that were needed for almost all the babies we were given from the management. Following that, so the babies were delivered with healthy weights, and they stayed with us for over a period of 45 days, where we provided them with the best care possible from our NICU, and our staff worked tirelessly throughout the time. All those 45 days, they worked day and night to make sure that all the babies were given the best care possible. All the babies were discharged as healthy babies without any complications, and they're still being followed up by our hospitals regarding their vaccines, their further management.
Ninewells even took steps to consult a lactation specialist, giving the necessary breastfeeding advice and guidance to Dilini. 4 weeks later, the time came for them to finally head back home.
ඉස්සෙල්ලාම මම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙන්න ඕන ඩොක්ටර් තිලින පලිහ වඩන ප්‍රොෆෙසර් ටිරාන්ඩයස් තමයි ඉතින් අපේ ගෝඩ්. ඉතින් මොකද මේ අදටත් අපි සර්ට ගොඩක් නායක ඇති කිව්වොත් හරි හොස්පිටල් එක පැත්තෙන් අපිට ගොඩක් සපෝට් කරා හැම මොහොතකම මේ ඩිලිවරි එක සිද්ධ වෙනකම්ම හොස්පිටල් එකේ ඉන්ටර්නල් ස්ටාෆ් එකේ වෝඩ් එකෙන් අපිට වෝඩ් එකේ සිස්ටර්ස්ලා නර්සස්ලා අපිට ලොකු සපෝට් එකක් දුන්නා. අපිට ගෙදර වගේ දැනුනේ ඇත්තටම දවස් 45ක කාමරයක ඇතුළේ දවස් 45ක් ඉන්න එක ලේසි දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. නමුත් අපිට ඒ තරම් අමාරුව දැනුන්නේ නැහැ. ඩිලිවරි එක දවසේ ICU එකේ ලිමිටඩ් ස්ටාෆ් එකක් හිටියේ. නමුත් ඩිලිවරි එක වෙලාව එනකම්ම each and every seconds මොනිටර් කරා මගේ වයිෆ්. ඉතින් ඒක මම දැක්කා. ඉතින් ඒකට මම ගොඩාක් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා ICU ස්ටාෆ් එකට. ඩිලිවරි එකෙන් පස්සේ මම හිතන්නේ සම්පූර්ණ වගකීම තිබුණේ ඩොක්ටර් නාලින් ගම්මැතිගේ ඩොක්ටර් බුද්ධිම ජයසිංහ ලීඩ් කරපු NICU ස්ටාෆ් එකට. NICU ස්ටාෆ් එකේ සිස්ටර්ස්ලා නර්සස්ලා හැමෝම අපේ දරුවන්ගේ අම්මලා වගේ තමයි. හොස්පිටල් එකේ මැනේජ්මන්ට් එක ඇඩ්මින් ඩිපාර්ට්මන්ට් එක ඇතුළු හෝල් මැනේජ්මන්ට් එකම අද දවස වෙනකනොත් අපිට හැම මොහොතකම ලොකු සහයෝගයක් දෙනවා. අපේ බබාලව අපිට ලබා ගන්න උදව් කරපු හැම දෙනාටම ඩොක්ටර්ස්ලා හොස්පිටල් එකේ ස්ටාෆ් එක මගේ යහළුවෝ හිතවත් අය සහ මම නොදන්න අය අපි වෙනුවෙන් ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරපු හැම දෙනාටම ගොඩාක් අපි ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
As this family sets off on a beautiful yet challenging journey, they are open to any assistance that will help better their lives. The gift of life is rare and miraculous. With the help of the Ninewells team, Dilini and Udayanga are able to embrace the bliss of parenthood.